In a stunning turn of events, a 17-year-old boy from Uzbekistan named Nodirbeck Abdusattorov has defeated the reigning chess world champion, Magnus Carlsen. This unexpected victory has sent shockwaves through the world of chess, and has many wondering if Nodirbeck is the next great chess prodigy. In the world of chess, age is just a number, and this story proves it. In this video, we'll delve into the incredible story of how Nodirbeck, a relatively unknown chess player, managed to defeat the reigning world champion, Magnus Carlsen. We'll take a closer look at the strategies Nodirbeck employed during the game, and examine how he managed to outwit Carlsen in a thrilling match. If you're a chess enthusiast, or just someone who loves a good underdog story, you won't want to miss this video. Stay tuned to discover how Nodirbeck managed to take down one of the greatest chess players of all time in a match that has already gone down in history. Magnus Carlsen, who had already won 3 World Rapid Championships, was on the verge of securing his 4th title. He had won against Alireza Firouzja and Jan Krzysztof Duda in the World Rapid semifinals and was ranked first in the tournament with a score of 7.5 out of 9. Despite Carlsen's impressive performance, there was another player who was dominating the tournament. Nodirbeck, a 17-year-old grandmaster who had defeated top 10 contenders like Levan Aronian and Fabiano Caruana. Nodirbeck was a force to be reckoned with and had been defeating even the most experienced players in the game. With his eyes fixed on the prize, Nodirbeck wasn't just playing chess, he was out for blood. And his next opponent was none other than the reigning champion, Magnus Carlsen. Despite being hailed as a prodigy himself, Magnus has met his match in Nodirbeck, a complete super talent who had already defeated some of the top contenders in the game. Magnus may have made a name for himself by defeating Anatoly Karpov at the incredible age of 13, but he clearly underestimated the sheer brilliance of Nodirbeck's game. What happened next was a battle of wits and strategy, with both players pushing their limits in a match that would go down in history as one of the greatest chess upsets of all time. With the clock ticking down, Nodirbeck and Magnus prepared their pieces for battle. As the match began, Nodirbeck made his move, starting with c4, causing Magnus to furrow his brows and take 20 seconds to contemplate his next move. And just like that, the match was off to an exhilarating start. The opening moves quickly led to an intense English opening, with white pawns on c4 and e4, and black knights positioned on c6 and f6. Every move was crucial, and the tension was palpable as the two players strategized and fought to gain the upper hand. It was a thrilling display of chess mastery, with the slightest miscalculation potentially leading to a defeat. With the game in full swing, Magnus made his move, positioning his queen on f6 and offering a trade to Nodirbeck's queen on f3. While this decision had the potential to lead to an early endgame, Nodirbeck wasn't willing to take the risk. Magnus was renowned for his skill in endgame positions, often turning seemingly simple endgame scenarios into wins. With this in mind, Nodirbeck swiftly declined the trade, opting to move his queen back to d1 instead. It was a calculated move, and one that showed Nodirbeck's own mastery of strategy and foresight. Seizing the moment, Magnus made a calculated move, positioning his pawn on g5 with the ultimate goal of advancing his other pawn to h5, and attacking white's king. It was a bold move and one that took advantage of the opportunity presented in this particular position. Up until this point, white's king has been protected by 3 pawns, but Magnus was determined to break through and take the lead. As the game progressed, Magnus made yet another daring move, offering a queen trade on g4 and once again aiming for an endgame. It was a bold move, but what really caught the attention of the spectators was Magnus' body language. Fidgeting with a piece, it was clear he was deep in thought, calculating his next steps with precision. Meanwhile, Nodirbeck appeared to be making moves more quickly, almost impatiently waiting for Magnus to make his next move. But Nodirbeck was not to be underestimated, and with a few swift moves, he managed to position his pawn on g6, putting the pressure on Magnus. With the game hanging in balance, Magnus made the decision to defend with g8, a move that allowed Nodirbeck to advance his pawn even closer to promotion. The stakes were high, and both players knew that one wrong move could cost them the game. Magnus sprang into action, moving his queen to h7, attempting to take Nodirbeck's pawn and force a trade of pieces. Frustration was etched on his face as he knew he was up against a formidable opponent. The game quickly turned into a nail-biting position. with both players evenly matched. However, Nodirbeck had the upper hand with a dangerous passed pawn on h2, leaving Magnus with no choice but to defend it. Thinking quickly, Magnus moved his knight to c5, appearing to threaten Nodirbeck's pawn, but in reality, it was a cunning move. If Nodirbeck took the bait and captured the knight, Magnus' queen would swoop in with h3, winning the knight with a check. The game proceeds with a few more moves, but nothing substantial happens until 2 pawns are traded off. Magnus now faces a daunting reality. It seems improbable that he can win the game with only a few pieces left on the board and Nodirbeck having a passed pawn. Magnus has to come up with a brilliant plan if he wants to turn the game around in his favor. To prevent Nodirbeck's pawn from promoting, Magnus decides to play knight g5, which threatens both the queen and king of white, compelling a trade between the bishop and the knight. With this trade, Magnus will have an easier time stopping Nodirbeck's pawn, as white's bishop won't be there to assist it. Nodirbeck decides to check Magnus, perhaps for the thrill of checking the world champion, although Magnus doesn't seem too pleased about it. However, both players are playing incredibly well, making the best possible moves from this position, and the game remains completely drawn. Hold onto your seat because the game takes a sudden turn in just a few moves. Nodirbeck ups the ante by attacking Magnus' king with a bold check and then proceeds to make a daring move, pushing his pawn all the way to h7, putting Magnus' king in a serious jeopardy. With time ticking down, Magnus must act quickly and place queen e5, a move that seems to defend against Nodirbeck's pawn promotion. However, Nodirbeck spots a critical opportunity, a move that could change the game entirely. Queen to d1. But wait, he misses it. The game is still on a knife's edge, with both players battling it out in a nail-biting contest for victory. Magnus retaliates with a series of checks that keep Nodirbeck on his toes, preventing him from promoting his pawn. Magnus knows that checking is crucial to keep white at bay. Finally, after a long sequence of checks, it appears that the game will end in a hard-fought draw, with both players putting up an impressive performance. The game was at a crucial juncture when Magnus made a fatal error that turned the tides in Nodirbeck's favor. Without realizing the grave consequences, Magnus carelessly pushed his pawn forward, giving Nodirbeck an opportunity to unleash a deadly attack with his queen on d2. Magnus was forced to make a move that didn't result in a check, or so he thought, but what he didn't see was that the move actually resulted in a check on the very square that his queen was supposed to cover. Magnus' fate was sealed, and in a matter of seconds, he had to concede defeat. In a game-changing move, Nodirbeck set the stage for his victory, plotting a queen trade that would leave Magnus' position vulnerable to a swift promotion of Nodirbeck's pawn to a powerful new queen. This bold and risky strategy threatened to dash Magnus' hopes of winning the 2021 World Rapid and hand the title to the 17-year-old prodigy Abdusattorov Nodirbeck, who was proving to be a formidable contender on the chessboard. As the tension built to a fever pitch, all eyes were on Nodirbeck to see if he could pull off this stunning upset and seize the crown from the reigning champion. In conclusion, the 2021 World Rapid Chess Championship was an intense and exciting battle between two incredible players, the reigning world champion Magnus Carlsen and the young super talent Abdusattorov Nodirbeck. The game was a display of incredible skill and strategy, with both players making impressive moves and calculations. In the end, it was Nodirbeck who emerged as a new world champion, dethroning Carlsen, marking the beginning of a new era in chess. This game will undoubtedly go down in history as one of the greatest moments in the sport, showcasing the incredible talent and determination of both players. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. If you have any suggestions for the topics you'd like me to cover in future videos, please leave them in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.